be here with you today. My name is Victoria from Victoria Laughton Fitness. So today I have some exciting things in store for you. We are going to go through a lower body workout. This is ideal for horse riders, especially in equestrian sports. So what we're going to do is we're predominantly going to be using body weight exercises. So these can be done anywhere that's convenient for you. If you do have a booty band, then we can add that in as well. But I'll show you how to use this as well. If you don't have one, then don't worry, we can still do it without the band. So first we're going to get into a warm-up to get started, and then we are going to get straight into the workout. So looking forward to it. First we are coming down, touching our feet. So we really want to keep our legs nice and straight as we come down. And then if you can't reach the ground, you're going to slightly fall forward to land and then crawl your hands out into a plank position. Then you're going to bring your right foot up next to your right leg, hand, sink the hip down, knee down, elbows down, and back up. We're now going to rotate for a thoracic spinal rotation. Bring back down and bring the other leg forward. Sink that hip, lower the knee. So this is a great exercise, a great warm-up to be able to stretch out those hip flexors. So your inside thigh there. We're going to do 3 of those in total. So coming down again, walking it all the way out, foot forward, sink that hip down, knee down, and rotate. Now here, if your elbows don't come all the way to the ground, or you can get one elbow down but not the other, what I want you to do is focus on just lowering down as much as you can. As you practice this and gain more mobility, what you'll be able to do is be able to come closer and closer to the ground. So I see a lot that only the outside arm can come down and the inside one is stuck. What that means is that in here on your inner thigh, your hip flexor may be tight, which is preventing you from lowering that inside arm to the ground. What we want to do in that instance is we want to release some of the tension in your hip flexor. So look out for that, because I will be going into more detail around that for you. So what we want to do is just come down as much as we can at the moment for this one, and then we will be able to come into further. You'll see on my YouTube channel there is different techniques to release your with foam rolling or a Theragun. So check those out. So from here, we are now coming all the way back up. And we're going to do one more of these. Sink the hip down and rotate. Elbows down. So when you bring the elbows down, once you've already sunk that hip down, once you bring the elbows down, you'll see from the front, I bring my hand there. Okay, can you see? So once I sink that hip down, and then when I bring my elbows down, then that hip comes down even further. So really in here, you're really stretching that out a lot. And you want to come down as much as you can to really get that hip flexor working well. Bring the other leg forward. All right. When you're walking that one back up as well, a key point to remember, make sure your legs stay straight. So when you walk it back up, I want those legs staying straight. I don't want any bend in the legs. So as we're coming down, we want to keep those legs straight as we come forward onto the ground. And then as we come up, we're walking our hands back and keep our legs straight as we rise back up again. Really important. We want to really stretch out the back of those hamstrings as well in that stretch, as well as your inner thigh. So you're going to look at stretching out that hip flexor. Both of those are really, really important. And then the spinal rotation is a fantastic way to really open up the chest and open up your thoracic as well. Fantastic for horse riders, because as we're getting into the movement, and the movement is through motion, then we're going to be well warmed up and prepared, and doing that simple exercise is going to warm up all those areas. So the first exercise, we're going to do just 10 body weight squats just to get warmed up as well. So coming down and back up. With the squat, I want you to think to put your weight on the outside of your feet. Clamp your toes into the ground, open your arches up. You're keeping your knees in alignment with your toes as you come down. Your chest needs to stay upright. So, same as when we're on a horse, we want to keep our chest and our posture up. Same with the squat, we want to keep our chest and posture up. So you can have your arms out in front if you like, and then eyes are going straight ahead as you come down, as you come back up. So, down and back up. So here, we're looking for at least a 90-degree angle here or slightly lower, depending upon your mobility and the strength. If you feel it too much in your knees, reduce that movement and then increase the range of motion. But full range of motion is going to have the most benefits. So you want to come down as much as we can and then back up. Now from the front here, we're making sure that our knees are coming over our toes. So what we want to make sure is that our knees are not caving in here. So as we come, tighten your quads, tighten your hamstrings, activate your core, come down nice and strong. Activate your glutes. They're going to help you come back up as well. So this is fantastic when you're horse riding too, especially if you need to rise to the trot, anything like that. This particular movement is really going to help you there. Next one. Okay, so we've done our little warm up. What we want to do is just come in for another thoracic spine rotation. Two more. All right, guys. So what we're going to do next is we are coming into the same thing with the squat, but we're going to add a plyometric aspect to it. So I want you to do a narrow to a wide, narrow to a wide. So from narrow, you're going to jump out, come down, in and up, out, in and up. Two more. All right. Next one. We are coming into a single leg deadlift. With this one, what I want you to focus on, one leg is going to be be relatively straight. Now, I don't like to say bend the knee here, because we're not bending the knees. We're just going to flex it slightly. So slight flex in the knee to be able to allow the movement. Keep the grounded leg activated. So activate your quad, hamstrings, and your calves. Clamp your toes and Really keep your arches open to be able to help keep your balance. From here, keep your chest up, keep your hips parallel. We are going to come forward, forward, touch the ground, and drive back up. So you'll see this leg has slightly flexed, but it's not bent. And the movement is more coming from the hips. So what I want you to do is think here that you want to maintain that straight line of alignment as your leg, for the leg that goes back. So think of a seesaw. As it seesaws from one side to the other, we've got that center hinge point. Our center hinge point of our body here in this movement is our hips. So what we want to do is make sure that the leg that is going up in the air, we've locked that hip in place. So we want to make sure that that hinge is set straight so that we can come down. So we want to come down as much as possible. I don't want that leg lagging behind. I need it up high. So you can put your hand by your side. This is great for balance as well. If you find that you find it easier to balance with your arm out, then by all means put your arm out or by your side or down in front. I'll show you the 3 different variations here today and pick which one suits you best. So standing up nice and straight, remembering you can slightly flex the other knee of the standing leg. This one, we want to keep it straight. So here and back. Keep your chin tucked in. Don't let your chin fall forward. I want your chin tucked in. Keep that alignment nice and straight. 2. Now, as we come here, we're driving back up. I feel a lot of strength in this leg as well, and I'm really activating my glutes to drive up nice and strong. The more activation that you have through the muscles by engaging those muscles, so I want you to really tighten them. So once you've done that, that's going to be able to give you more control over your balance, which is super important. That's also going to help translate when you get onto the horse as well. So, bring back. All right, the other option, arms straight out. That one probably gives you a little bit more balance, or arm down in front. Slight touch on the ground. If you're finding this movement very hard, then what you can do is regress it by having a bench or something where you'll be able to tap it. So from here, you can still use your leg in the same position, but you're not reaching down as far. So you can just come here. Just use fingertips. So that's one that you can do there. All right, we are changing over to the other side. Remembering, keep that hinge nice and strong. So, coming down. Five more. All right. to crab walks for this one. So for this one, what we want to do is make sure that from one side to the other, we are staying nice and low. Now, with a crab walk, I'm going to go through a few details that we want to keep an eye on. So for our form and technique, very important, we want to keep the level low. So we don't want to be bouncing up and down like we do in a rising trot. We want to think of it more like a canter. So you want to stay at that same level. You don't want to be bouncing up and down. So we're taking the bounce completely out, and we are only staying at that one level. So we want to make sure that as we come for a lateral crab walk, we are keeping nice and low, keeping a deep squat. This is really going to work your glutes predominantly, your quads, your hamstrings as well. Now, another pointer that I would like to point out to keep an eye on, I want you to take smaller steps rather than big strides sideways. What I want you to do is make sure that your feet are parallel. So we want those feet pointing straight to the front, even when they step aside. I don't want your toes or your heels pointing out. I want that straight step. So with the band on as well, you may have to reduce the size of your step. Without the band, you may be able to take bigger steps, but we want to make sure that those feet stay straight. So I'm going to show you with the band, but by all means, you don't need to have the band if you don't have one. Now with the band, we are placing it above our patella. So I want you to make sure that you know where the top of your knee is, where that muscle, the insertion point of the muscle into where your patella is. We want to make sure that we're above that. So come a little bit closer. You'll be able to see where I've placed that band. Now, when you have the band on, I want you to make sure that that doesn't let your knees cave in. We want to keep our knees out. So if you're finding your knees are caving in, I want you to remove the band and practice just with body weight to start with, and then increase and progress the exercise to the band after. So we are coming down nice and low. Remember our level. Coming across. And coming back. And we're coming back again. And back. Stay down nice and low. All right. And one more. Back this way. And back again. All right. We're back in. We are now going to add a little bit more plyometrics to this as well. I want you to keep your eyes up. We can come into, I'm going to show you a couple of versions. So you've got step back lunges here and here. Alternatively, you may feel more comfortable stepping forward. Now here, I want you to sink the depth with the lunge. I want you to come down low. Now I don't want that knee to touch the ground, but I do want that knee to be very close to the ground. So what I want you to do is anticipate how low you need to go into that lunge and then come back up from there. So make sure that as you're coming down, you anticipate coming to the end range of motion and then catch it to come back up again. From here, there's another version if you want to use plyometrics. You can come and jump it. All right, so alternatively, you've got the step back or step forward. Two more. All right, next one, we have single leg hip extensions. For these ones, you will need a bench or something that you can rest your back on. Now here, a few tips on technique. What I want you to do for the ladies, this is usually where you're setting yourself up against the bench will be about bra line. So we want to be just below our shoulder blades here. So if you have a look here, then below my shoulder blades sits just here. This is the line that I want to be able to line up with the edge of the stool. So we are going to use that as a hinge point. So it's very important that you get that position and you hold that position. I don't want you sliding down or sliding up or having to feel that you need to hold on. I want you to get that position right from the get-go. So from here, we're going to find where that is, line ourselves up. Once we're there, feet hip width apart, we are now activating our glutes and coming up. If you've got a longer bench, you can rest your arms. I like to make a fist, keep your arms out, but you're not pushing off your arms, so please don't just hinge off your shoulder blades. Up and back down. So when we come up, I'm looking for a straight line from my knees to my shoulders. So when we're here, it's not quite, the movement's not quite finished, and we do want full range of motion. So when you activate your glutes, come up higher, make sure you get that straight finish. But today, we are going to go single leg. So what you'll need to do is bring this leg over just slightly. This leg is going to come up into a 90-degree angle, going to come down and up. 20. Two more. So you should really feel that burning in your, for that exercise there, I had my left leg up and my right leg grounded. My right glute was the one that I could feel all the tension in. So really, really important. Now we're going to change to the other side. Remembering, make sure that you've got the correct positioning. For this one as well, we want to keep our chin tucked, so don't let your head fall back. Our head can be quite heavy, so I want you to keep it under control and keep your chin tucked, looking straight ahead as you're doing the movement. So when we're at the bottom, looking straight ahead. When we come to the top of the movement, we're still looking straight ahead. So I don't want your head to go anywhere else. I want your core nice and tight as well. 2 more. All right. So, next one, we are going to do one more exercise. We are bringing back the booty band. If you don't have the booty band, that's okay. This one also can be done with just body weight. So choose your option. Now, with this one, what we're going to do is we are going to do 20 reps. Same thing we're looking for. From your knees to your shoulders, we want to have a straight line. So at the top range of motion, as your glutes fatigue, you may start feeling that you're dipping a little bit in the hips. We want to avoid that. So when you start to feel that your glutes are fatiguing, I need you to take extra care and focus on your form even more. So we are doing 20 reps here. Once again, we want to make sure that by using the band, it's not forcing our legs in too much. So the point of using the band is to add extra resistance and take that exercise to the next level of progression. And to be able to do that, you still need to maintain your form from the previous regression. So for here, the band as well, we're going to place in the same position that I showed you a moment ago. Now here, coming down onto the ground, I want you to pelvic tilt forward, back nice and flat. So this curve here in your back, I want you to take that away by curving your, by tucking your tailbone in and under and pelvic tilt forward. So that's going to flatten your back out. I want you to resist against that resistance band with your knees are going to be in the same width as your feet. From here, arms slightly out. Our glutes are going to activate first to go up before anything else. This movement, I want you to feel more in your glutes, not so much in your legs. So we'll work your legs slightly as well, but predominantly your glutes. So up. Nice and high. Two more. All right. Now to finish that off, bring those knees in, tuck them in nice and tight, and hug them in nice and tight there. Then we're putting one leg out. Leave this one at a 90-degree angle. Both shoulders are going to stay on the ground. You're going to grab this knee and bring it over. And back to the other side. Coming up, we are now going to bring one leg in front. Now here, I want you to keep your hips nice and square and your chest nice and square. We're going to come down as low as we can. Once again, find your best range of motion. So you can stay up here high, or you can come down to your elbows, or if you've got the mobility, straight out in front, come straight all the way down, laying down onto your leg. Now here you'll feel a really good stretch all through your glutes and lower back. Swapping it around. And again, so here make sure that the hip is not lifted on the side where your foot is. I want you to make sure that you stay nice and square. Come down. All right, next one, crossing one leg over. You're going to bring your knee and come around. And other way. Bringing your feet in and chest up nice and high. Push those knees down. Hold that position for a moment. And from here, you really feel a good stretch here. And that has completed our live for today. So I hope you have enjoyed it. Please send me through any questions. I really love to hear from you. If you have any questions or would like to reach out, then please make a comment on this post. Let me know or send me a message through. And I look forward to seeing you again. So keep an eye on this page for updates to come. And if you are on any other social platforms, then please follow me. We are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, YouTube, so look forward to seeing you there. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. There is another live which you will see on my page, so if you scroll down just slightly, you will see another live on posture. Now that one is fantastic because it's really going to open up your posture. With that one, all you need is just a resistance band. So you'll only be needing one of these. And then once you've done that exercise, once you've done that routine, then that will really open up your posture. So fantastic for all us equestrians. So get into that one next. And I will see you over there in that video. And I look forward to spending more time with you in there. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Bye.